Today, peeps, sorry. Still setting up. Today's live stream is going to be all about is it worth going and starting Uber in 2026? I get this message quite often. Think about going on Uber. Is it worth it? As you know, guys, I don't really work much Uber at all. I haven't worked Uber really since September last year. So realistically, you're going to be advising people. Realistically, yeah. What we'll find out today, is it actually worth it? Hello, P on Switch, how are we, mate? I'm just trying to get set up. I'm a little bit late today, a little bit unorganised. I had an idea before I come on, and it didn't work. So I'm a touch late. But yeah, that's the big question today. Thank you everyone for tuning in, much appreciated. Just going live now on TikTok as well. Same again, just so late today. But yeah, I just think you get a lot of mixed opinions about it, don't you? Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people think you should only be an Uber driver if you're in an electric car. So it's good to discuss today. Hello, everyone on TikTok. Much appreciated you joining in. All good, mate. Just out here living a dream. So you're not working now, P, are you? Are you chilling today or what? What's happening today? How are we, everyone? You all right? Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. The big question today is Uber worth working in 2026? So I'd love to hear all your feedback, guys, all your comments. Yeah, we'll see, guys, we'll see. Let's give it another 5 minutes or so to all pump out and fill out a bit, because it'll take a bit of time to kick in. Hello, Gareth on YouTube. Hello, mate. Guys, I need some advice. I'm considering getting a Skoda Enyaq from Autocar, rent to buy. It's only £20 more than I'm paying now for my 2015 Ford, all maintenance and insured. Wow. Mate, honest to God, Skoda Enyaqs and Autocar comes up every stream. They must be a very popular choice. So Gareth, can you charge your home, mate, or not? That's a big question as well. Can you charge your home? Shunt on YouTube. Hello, mate. Morning. Thanks for your vid. Starting in May. When I get laid off, scared. Got to be done. Well, you're starting in May. So if you are you preparing now to begin in May because you're getting laid off? So have you started the process of getting your badge and all that, mate? Wow. MJ YouTube wasn't worth it in 2025. Oh, God. Everyone should quit their jobs and become an Uber driver. Unhappy face. Wow. It just feels like it's like the cool thing these days, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I drove through town the other day and literally every other car was a plated driver hire. Every other car. Seems like such a popular job these days. Morning, everyone on TikTok. Much appreciated tuning in. I'll try and keep your comments as best as I can. But if I miss any, come over to Twitch. Your comments come up on the main screen, guys. But I will try and not miss much TikTok today. But like I said, the main comments come on the main screen, which is on Twitch or YouTube. Yes, you can charge at home. Gareth, it's a no-brainer then, mate, to be honest. Raf, who normally works, who normally comes in the chat, he's got an Autocar. And yeah, so if he comes in, mate, he'll be able to help you out as well. Don't know why you use Uber drivers moan, you reap what you sow. Lad, it works for me, simple. If I don't like it, move on. 100% P, 100% mate. I totally agree with you. I didn't like Uber and the way it was going, so I've left. Do you know what I mean? I'm not striking next week or nothing like that, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'll be going live and all that to like see what's happening. But like, do you know what I mean? If you're not happy with something, I just don't do it. Simple as. So you are very right, mate. So Pete, are you working Uber, are you, mate? Do you enjoy it, mate? Getting out the house, done it, earn a bit of money. LJ Liam, you alright, mate? Don't know why you Uber drivers moan. You reap what you sow. I've never worked Uber, lad, but you do all moan. Very true, very true. MJ, I did move on. Did you? Yeah, I think loads of people have done, mate, haven't they? Hello, Tony on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Uber rates are just too low. People will starve. Why don't you go and try and find a new food source then, Tony? That's the big question, mate, isn't it? If people aren't happy with something, you should just move on or find something else. Morning, guys. Morning, mate. How are we? Rob, if you can, mate, come over to Twitch or something like that, lad, just so I don't miss any of your comments. Blake Itis, mate, I can't be bothered this morning. I really couldn't be bothered. I had to get up, do the news articles, drop my daughter off at school, and now I'm on here. Knackered today, mate, knackered. Commuter on YouTube, but thanks for tuning in again, mate. I haven't had the app on since before Christmas, just a school run and a bit of private work will do for now. Yeah, yeah, that's it, mate. A little bit of Uber if you need to top up your wages, but generally try and make your own money out elsewhere, can't you? On Kick, hello again, mate. Very easy with AutoCard, no credit checks, everything online. Just prove everything what they need, provide everything what they need, and they'll send you a car straight to your house. Seriously, it's that easy. So you don't even have to see anyone or visit anyone. It's all online. You can get signed up to a settle by car in your house and they deliver the car to you. Plated. That is crazy. Spare change, Mick, how long did you have to wait for the Part 3 test driving instructor? Mick's not in the chat, mate. Yeah, P, he's on locals, mate. He's on ABC. Six months, book July, test 1st of December. Oh, is MJ mine, Mick? Mick? No, he's not, is he? Oh, I don't know, lad. Morning, Benjamin. How are we, lad? Thanks for tuning in, mate. Much appreciated. What are we doing when Waymo starts this year? To be honest, mate, nothing. Waymo's going to be a gimmick for a good few years, mate. Then it's not going to be coming mainstream or nothing like that. Do you know what I mean? Nice one, Matty. Not after free promotion, more drivers. Mate, you moan and it's quiet anyway, lad. So, like the smallest firm in Merseyside, lad. There's nothing to flex on that, lad. Just on Facebook, hello, mates. Best name in local depot Uber is Wick here, Belfast. You're like Chris. So are you working local companies, Chris? Are you then? And you don't work Uber, or do you work Uber? Time for likes and follows, guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, it was MJ. My Mick. I didn't know that. What the biggest? So do you have like a big local company that are trying to fight against Uber? Are they? How is it going, Chris? Are you feeling that the local companies are still more popular than Uber, or is Uber taking over a bit now? Allegedly, people are going to be taking off the cameras off them Waymo cars. Do you reckon, mate? I reckon people will be like standing in front of them and causing mayhem. I reckon there'll be in a little bit of an spiciness when they launch in London, don't they? Definitely a bit of spiciness. Renaz on Facebook, hello mate. From last night, Uber had dropped the rates again. Reservation jobs by £2 and cancellation fees dropped from £3.75 to £3.69. What? Someone was saying to me that Uber in certain areas now have stopped paying for running miles. So they stopped paying for running miles in Liverpool ages ago. Do you know, like if the job's 10 mile away going a mile, they'll try and pay you like £12 for it. Now they're starting to cut back on that in certain areas, where if it's 10 miles away going a mile, you only get £3-4. Do you know what I mean? So Chris is the biggest, mate, yeah, the local firm. We are flying, yes, can't name it, but way better. No, no, that's fair enough, Chris. That's sound, that, mate. So at least the locals are fighting against Uber in Ireland. Here, I think Uber's took over. Like Uber's like they're by far the busiest thing in the UK. What do you reckon, guys? It's our twins for the subscribe on YouTube. Thanks, mate. But I reckon Uber's definitely the top dog in the UK, especially for passenger numbers as well. Sean on YouTube just saw auto comments. Is auto a better option than buying outright to start? It's a big commitment, Sean. If you're going to start out, mate, I'd just settle. Don't commit and no like 3 year deal or nothing like that. I'll just go and rent from like a local settle company near you, mate, and test it out first. Don't be committed to like a 3-4 year deal when you haven't even worked on the cabs, mate. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Kev, hello, mate. Thought you were back on Alpha, Matty. No, no. I haven't worked any taxis really, mate, since September. Just doing the odd airport run. Alpha, I done a couple of shifts on Alpha and just went back to Uber at the time. But then I packed an Uber. Mikey, don't get me wrong, yes, a local firm is better, but there are more fares with Uber. You just need to pick and choose what fares you do. I did 7 hours last night and done 170. Totally get you would be less miles on the local, but I can still make money, just have to be clever. Mikey, it works for other people, wait, doesn't it? Some people love how it can work with Uber brilliantly. Some hate Uber and prefer locals. It's all preference, mate. We're all self-employed, lad. So if Uber's working for you, fantastic, mate. Mikey, keep it up. Nathan, Uber only benefits the customer. Mate, I know drivers that are benefiting from Uber as well, but I can see your point because Uber does prioritise the customers, in my opinion. They really do. Tell them the story. The training station. lad, lad, that was a private story, that lad. Right, guys, just a quick one. When I went back to local, I got a job, and the first ever job was to the training station in Prescott. So shot up to the training station, parked up, waiting for the customer. Phone the customer, went, where's this training station, lad? I don't know where it is. And he went, no, the train station. I went on the bookings for the training station. So then by the time I got to the train station, he'd already left. So my first ever job back on the locals when I went back was a like a 25-minute no show. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just a 25-minute no show. Funny, mate. But yeah, that's the story he's on about. Morning, man. How are we, lad? Morning, everyone. Hope everyone is full of busy, making loads of money. Hopefully they are, mate. Hopefully. This making tax digital is a stress. Chris, so I haven't done taxis or Uber generally since September last year. And I've still been doing the odd airport run. I've done no airport runs this year so far. I've done no taxiing this year. And I don't know what I'm doing going forward. But the hassle make tax digital is going to be with the trade and reporting everything and getting all your expense receipts and everything else, mate. It's a good time for me to probably bow out. It really is, mate. I just can't be bothered with the hassle of proving your income, proving every expense. Do you know what I mean? Imagine trying to get a receipt of like one of those little valet places you go to, or like, you know what I mean? You go through a toll and you got to wait for the receipt for the toll. It's going to be mental, mate. There'll be so much hassle. Any good tips for software? Mate, there's loads of different softwares. I recommend one on Drivermatic only because it's free. If you go to drivermatic.com, I think that's a free one. And then you've got that Sage, and you've got QuickBooks, then you've got Xero and all them. There's loads of different things. Just make sure that they're linked with the HMRC and Tax Makes Digital, mate. That's the best option, is make sure they're linked. Because if they're not linked, you're wasting your time, really. Roger, 180 quid, West London and Harrow, 8 hours. 8 hours, 180 quid in London. Damn. Nathan, fares a lot cheaper, aren't they, mate? I'll ask on the drive as well. Yeah, Nathan, going into 2026, especially January when there's no demand, the earnings are going to be low, mate. Because there's no competition. There's loads of drivers, no competition. Commuter Value Cab and Bonner Cab are the two biggest companies in Greater Belfast. They are buying up most of the local depots. The word was that Visu were looking to buy one or both of them before COVID hit. So you've got no Visu in Belfast. So Visu's buying up loads of companies in the UK to try and compete with like Uber and stuff like that. In Liverpool, Alpha's probably the main one that's buying all the little companies up as well, trying to fight Uber and stuff like that. So it's Belfast, you've got two really large companies, have you? Driverless Matty. Pete, telling you, mate, I'll be driving Matty, and the only driving I'll be doing is drop my daughter off for school and go to the gym. Get on the buses. Oh, I couldn't be I can't deal with 1 to 3 passengers. Never mind flipping get on the buses. I couldn't deal with a group of people, never mind buses like Steph. Forget about that. Nice to have the follows. Much appreciated on TikTok. Yeah, yeah. Big group is a lot quieter this time of year. But things might change as people start leaving the trade. It might make Uber a bit busier. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I've done this 7, 8 years or whatever it is, and January's always bad. And everyone believes in January that it's the worst job, that it's got even worse and everything else. But it's the same every single January. It's always bad. But everyone sees the worst in it. Do you know what I mean? You just got to get through January, get into Feb, March. You got Valentine's coming up, even though there's a strike. You got Mother's Day coming up. Do you know what I mean? Which is pretty good. Taking all the birds and the Mars out, all the single mums out. Do you know what I mean? So there is some positivity going forward, guys. Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. Tax makes digital, making tax digital. Yeah, whatever it is. Husband, morning, mate. Lorry driving probably best bets these days, even though it doesn't pay as much as it should. Morning, Matty. I'm pretty sure the HGVs may pay well. I'm sure they're on a half decent dough, you know. At least like 16 quid an hour or something like that, and 17 quid an hour. No one talking about the new taxi reform national standard. Yeah, Kamal, we've talked about it loads, mate. What do you want to talk about it? Gone, left my house at 6, just come home for a brew, 20 past 10. So what's that, 4 hours and 20 minutes? 60 quid. 60 quid in 4 hours. Damn. Wow. Pop on YouTube. Hello, mate. Chatting on that. Can you do a video with some research into the best home charging tariff rates for EVs for drivers? Also give drivers some tips for the best taxi insurance companies. Thanks, Red. So your best taxi insurance companies, mate, are just your staples. I always use the Go Compare, or the compare the market on the taxi one. I use that for a ballpark, and then I look at Zigo, Insure, and Acorn. Acorn's really cheap for the electric cars, I've found as well, the Liverpool firm. So that's what I normally do when I'm shopping for taxi insurance. compare the taxi.com or whatever it is to get a ballpark of where you're at, and then go to Zego, go to Insure, and go to Acorn and get all separate quotes on them. But normally, if you go to that Zego, the Sense app, people say that's quite cheap as well with the Sense app. But yeah, you just got to shop around, mate, haven't you? So the home charging tariffs, I think there's two now, isn't it? The Octopus has been leading the way for ages, and they have like the best deal at the moment. They have a 7p overnight tariff, 7p per kilowatt overnight. It's like a 6 hour window, isn't it? But there's another one. Is it Tomato or something like that, or Tomato Head? I'm sure it's like Tomato Electric or something. Tomato Electric. Tomato Energy. Absolute mental name. But I think Tomato Energy does a cheap overnight tariff as well. But I don't know the pricing, like. But yeah, Tomato Energy, I think, and Octopus are your two best overnight tariffs that I've found and what I've been told and read online, mate. But yeah, Tomato Energy. Mad at it. Octopus do a £30 a month tariff now, but not everyone can get on it. Depends on the car and charger. If you're on about the fixed £30 a month, that would like the unlimited charging, Superman, they've stopped it now. If you go on their website now, they've stopped it. That's why I never recommended it, mate. They've closed it. Too many people sign up to it. No, mate, Uber's not worth it. You just break even. It's finished now. It's definitely what a minimum wage job, innit? It's a minimum wage job with a bit of flexibility. It's about it, really, after your expenses, innit? Hi, Lou on YouTube. Hello, mate. You alright? I bought another van last week. Turned out it was a dog, so I'm looking for another one. Why? What did you get last week? Hello, Rob. You are Rob out the WhatsApp group. Hope my first night tonight is busy. Fingers crossed, Rob. Let us know on the WhatsApp group, lad. Well, is it really? Is it real to help the customer and make it fair for the driver, or is it a scam transfer for money for local councils? No doubt it's going to put more expenses on the drivers. Yeah, mate, it is. Back to locals. A lot of local drivers. A lot of people going back to locals, mate. I see from Facebook they updated the new price in Portsmouth. What do you mean, lad? P. Eon is 6.5p overnight tariff. Is it? See, this is why I love this chat and this live. Eon is cheaper than Octopus. Eon is 6.5p. Is any other company beating Eon for overnight tariffs? 6.5p is a really good price. That I'm getting 7 with Octopus. The dirty truth about Uber are drivers on universal credit to cope with the crap pay. Possibly, mate. So be very careful that you're legit with that, because they'll find you out now. Hello, Serge. How are we, mate, on YouTube? Ford Custom. It's in EMR now. So you've literally bought it and it's already broke. Mate, those Fords, mate, are heavy, aren't they? Wet belt problems, they snap at any time, don't they? Sharif on Facebook, minimum fare is £5.50 now. What? On Uber? Your minimum fare in Portsmouth is £5.50. Who can confirm, guys? Anyone from Portsmouth or down south? That's what the customers pay. £5.50. Damn. Hello, Pop on YouTube. Hello, I'm mate. Sat here watching DM, legend, while carring for taxi MLT 6 foot away. Pop. And everyone cross the fingers. I hate getting my taxi MOT. Pop, I hope it passes, mate. Whereabouts you live and where's your car getting done? What area is it quite strict? Because I know certain garages a lot stricter than others, isn't it? Oh, mate, I hate me taxi MOTs. Serge, for new drivers, it's very expensive. I tried to get a quote insurance of Insurance Ego. The price is 5-6 grand per year. Toyota CHR 2022 plate. Serge, mate, how old are you, mate? I say it's pointless. Pointless going. It's pointless going over getting a taxis until you're over 25. The insurance just kills you, mate. How much money are you gonna have to earn to pay that 5-6 grand a year insurance? Did you see the thing that TFL brought out? The youngest Hackney driver in London has just got his badge, 21. How much is that driver paying insurance? A 21-year-old Hackney driver in London. We technically have 2 MOTs a year for Cornwall Council. Taxi check 6 months after MOT. Depends on the age, mate. That's like that in Liverpool, but it depends on the age. If it's over 8 years, you got to do that. But generally, it's once a year. Every 6 months is heavy, innit? Road, hello, mate. Matty, have you seen the new fixed fare from Uber? Priority bookings are 50p extra than normal Uber X. Mate, it's crazy. You used to get 18-20 quid extra for the priority bookings and stuff. Oh no, wait, the priority's 50p extra. I thought you meant the Uber Reserve. Priority's only 50p extra. Guys, can anyone confirm? Uber Priority is only 50p extra. What was it? Bro, there's 150 in it. 152 quid. Surely it can't be 50p. How's my chauffeuring going? Not very well, mate. I don't really drive. Yeah, I haven't drove much at all in January other than taking my daughter to school. Ford buses are great. Don't diss on them. Marty, we all know the truth about your bus, mate. He had the Ford Transit connectors in, not the Ford Custom, not the big one, like the medium one. And he is engine blue. I don't even think it's under 1,000 in it, lad. It's because I can only have a cheap one because I'm paying my insurance. That is 1,500 a month. Your insurance is 1,500 a month. It can't be. Is that 1,500 a year? It can't be 1,500 monthly. I've literally paid my private eye badge of my insurance is 1,500 a month. Am I going to buy that Nero, Rob? I don't know, mate. The 333,000 mile one. I'm tempted. I think it make great content. 333,000 miles. Uber doesn't log you off no more when you leave jobs time and out. Don't they pay? Interesting. 31 just applied for a badge now located in Milton Keynes. Go on, Sage. Riviera insurance, 2 grand for my first year. Rob, that's good, mate. That's good. You pay a 5 grand insurance these days, not viable. No. Lou, stop it for 1 sec. Lou, you're paying £1,500 private hire insurance on your minibus. Is that private hire insurance for 1,500 quid a month? Surely not, Lou. Are you making any money? 1,500 quid a month. What's that? 18 grand a year? Stop it, Lou. You're pulling my leg there, aren't you? You must be pulling my leg. I can't believe you're paying 1,500 quid a month insurance. It can't be. I need to know more about that, Lou. Serge, becoming a member. Thank you very much for becoming a member, mate. If you'll have me WhatsApp, you'll have me WhatsApp number now. WhatsApp me your number, and I'll add you into our WhatsApp group, mate. It's a members only YouTube WhatsApp group. So thanks for joining, Serge, and I'll add you in the group as well. So all the lads with the dollar sign next to their name on YouTube are all members. So they're all in the WhatsApp group, and a few of the lads on Twitch are the members as well. So nice one for that, Serge. Appreciate it. All helps, all supports. That's just on my work van. No, not private hire. That's not for me tax. That's just for the van. Sean, I've got a family mate, so you got to run, but thanks for your help, dude. No worries, Sean, no worries, anytime, mate, and all the best for your family, mate. I'll see you, mate. Marty, I'm a Hackney, and I use flag insurance. I've heard of flag. I've heard of flag as well. Lou, you're confusing me. So you're not on the taxis, right? So you're not private hire. So you're paying 1,500 quid a month on your work van. I'm guessing is that for the payments for the van as well as insurance and that? Because I'm pretty sure you can't be paying that in just insurance. Surely not. So after likes and follows, guys, much appreciated. Much appreciated. If you're watching me now, hit that little like button and give me a little follow or a subscribe. Completely free to do so. Helps me out massively, guys. Thank you. It's £500 cheaper a month from last year. Wasn't making anything. So last year you're paying 2 grand a month. Gloomy baby, I don't get it. Jack, hello mate, how are we? Taxi return submitted. What a pain in the ass. Jack, fair play, lad, but it is a pain in it. Next time, lad, don't leave us so late. Like, you are mad. Is this the last day? The last day for your tax return, isn't it? No, tomorrow's your last day, isn't it? Or is it today? So if you go to YouTube now, Sage, under the membership tab, under the membership perks, there should be WhatsApp. And then if you click it, it should have my number. If not, lad, just message me on one of the chats on social media, like Facebook or something like that, and I'll sort it when we get out, when I get off stream. This on Facebook, I had a job offer yesterday, £4.86 to drive 9p, to drive 9 mile, to drop off 1.1 mile away, less than 50p. Yeah, mate, that's awful. That's terrible. Lou, how are you paying 2 grand a month insurance? Gav, thanks for the subscribe, mate. Appreciate it. I'll send you a screenshot later. Send me it on Facebook or something, mate. So what do you drive? To drive like bodies or something or gold? Why are you paying 1,500 quid a month insurance? For what job? What you do? Hello, Mo on Facebook. How are we, matey? We're all effed after tax return, like having holes in our pockets. Mo, heavy, innit? Honestly, so heavy. Have you all been legit, by the way? Because tomorrow's the last day to submit it. Have you all been legit? Because this year, mate, they're going to be like hawks, mate. They're going to be watching you. Hello, Waggo. You all right, mate? Uber fares are not the best, but sometimes customers pay less, driver get more. It's weird. Yeah. Because in the end, mate, Uber wants the passenger picking up, so they'll pay us extra to go out our way to go and pick them up because all they want is the passengers to be picked up. Do you know what I mean? Everyone paying everything on credit cards, only way to keep the dog away from the door. Mo, honestly, mate, it's rough, lad. 2026, mate, it's rough. Road, I have checking messages, I've sent you screenshots. Yeah, I'll check after the stream, mate. It's not a problem, lad. Thank you. Property maintenance and window cleaning. So Lou, just to clarify, mate, you have literally got a works van, a Ford Transit works van, yeah, commercial. You're doing property maintenance and window cleaning. Like last year, you were paying £2 grand a month in insurance, car insurance, and now luckily this year it's dropped down to 1,500 quid insurance. That is unbelievable. How are you making any money, Lou? It's crazy, man. That is nuts because you got your fuel on top, you got your vehicle payments on top. Wow. Heavy, 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 heavy. Yes. Wow. Heavy, mate. Danny on Facebook, hello, Harvey, mate. I'm 33 and Acorn have offered me 300 quid a month, first year tax insurance and a beamer. Mate, it's not cheap, mate. I was paying 220 a month for me Tesla, and that's after 5, 6 years of no claims discounts on the taxis, mate. It's always going to be expensive, Danny. But I'd shop around, mate. I reckon you'll get that a bit cheaper. What beamer is it? A lot of Hackney's rent and jump on a fleet insurance, which is included in the rent. Yeah, Marty, that happens with settling, innit? Sometimes you'd be better off settling, wouldn't you? Mo driver, Matty Insurance Limited, coming soon. For cheap insurance, please pay as you go insurance. Yes, Mo, I'll set it up after the stream, lad. Oh, mate. I've got the time to run the businesses I've got now, mate. Never mind setting up a new one. You're not making any money, Luke. Surprise, mate. You're paying 1,500 quid a month insurance. I'd literally piggyback. I'd piggyback the water and your little brush, mate, to clean the windows. I would not be driving around in a van. 1,500 quid. I'm 1,300 quid with Insure, 10 years no claim on my Model S. Tiger, Insure wouldn't insure me for my Model S. So I don't know if it's changed, but Insure wouldn't insure me, mate. What's happening, Ash? You alright, mate? How are we? Yeah, Insure wouldn't touch me. 1.6 TDI Skoda and getting a 70 mile per gallon. Yeah, but it's like 0 to 60 in like 4 hours, that's free. Nah, I love the Skodas, mate. I think the 1.6 TDI is a little bit small, though, isn't it? Especially if you're doing the airports and that. It's a little bit gutless, isn't it? You want the big 2 litre, don't you? It must have done. I got it through patents. Oh, okay. Well, when I tried Insure, they wouldn't insure me. Or it was dead expensive, I think. Maybe like 5 grand or something like that. Can't remember. Insure are okay, but the customer service is weak. Oh, wank, yeah. Depending on how you put it. Electric or diesel, mate. To me personally, I reckon electric. If you can home charge, mate, I reckon electric. 1,000,000%. I really do. But people are going to say diesel, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Danny on Facebook, I was happy me, mate, 320 diesel. Tried getting a test after the last chat. Most finance companies don't entertain taxi drivers. No, Danny. It's getting a lot harder, mate, to buy them and sell them and get them insured. It's a joke, mate. I still can't believe Lou is paying 1,500 quid a month insurance. That's crazy, Lou. Honestly, God, mate, I know taxi drivers that are transporting people for a living are paying less insurance than you, Lou. My insurance is 245 quid a month for a Hyundai Ioniq. I was with Insure. They wouldn't renew 9 years. Driver I no claims bonus. That's a silly jack, isn't it? What's your thoughts on the Vauxhall Insignia? I've had one. It was just little bit temperamental. DPF problems coming out of its ears. Yeah, I would say it's a good cheap car, mate, but there's better ones out there, I'd say. If you're going to go for an R diesel, I'd probably stick to Ford or Skoda. If you want an R diesel. If you want a hybrid, Toyota, Kia, Hyundai, that's my advice. Diesel, I'd say Ford, Skoda. Hybrid, I would say Toyota, Kia, and Hyundai. They're like probably the top makes, I'd probably say. What do you reckon, guys? Do you agree? Feel like we're taking a risk to drive out any or lose your license. Yeah, Lou, I wouldn't drive out any insurance, mate. I would, if I was you, Lou, I'd look at a different job, mate, until you can get your insurance down. Go and just get employed at Tesco or rude. Just go and get a job in Tesco or something like that, mate. That insurance must be killing you. I was driving a HGV for a week, but quit it for Uber. Uber is better. You quit the HGVs for Uber. How long you been doing Uber for, mate? What's happening if customers change them destinations while they're on board if you refuse it? Thanks. Yeah, I don't think you can refuse it, mate. Abel. Pretty sure you can refuse it. I'm not 100% sure, mate. You was with them for years as well. Mate, I was with Insure for years with the bus. Insure was the cheapest for me for when I had one of the buses. It was sound, mate. Do you know any insurance like pay as you go for part time Uber? Say it's not for pay as you go, but I think Acorn does like a week, 7 day insurance or like a 30-day insurance policy, stuff like that. But not as pay as you go. On Uber Eats, yeah, but not on Uber taxis. It's after likes and hearts. Got a big heart on my head there, thank you. I'm on Facebook, hello, are we, mate? Been running a Suzuki Swace hybrid. May I have to Google this? What the hell is that? I've never heard of that. Suzuki Swace. What? It looks like a Toyota Corolla. Hey, have you all seen it? Suzuki Swaces before? It actually looks like a Toyota Corolla. Suzuki as well as Japanese, isn't it? Mate, that could be a good Corolla option, that lad. Just have insurance cost of 1,800 quid a year for a Model 3 long range. Can home charge, thinking of jumping to electric for the fuel saving for driver hire. Gav, if you can home charge, mate, and it's not going to cost you a fortune, I would. Suzuki Swace, brackets, Toyota Corolla, it is the same car. I thought it looked like a Corolla. The Suzuki Swace is a Corolla. Just obviously under the same company. That's crazy. Time for all the hard, Speedy. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I didn't know that. First time I've heard of them now. I know my cars. Daddy on Facebook, how are we, mate? Anyone knows settle to buy company for 9 seaters? Not really, mate. No, not really, matey. Jack, I'm putting 15k back this year to buy a Tesla Model 3 next year. Yes, Jack. Join the Tesla crew. Yeah, mate. I love my Model 3. It drives unbelievable. It's super cheap, 2p a mile. Brilliant, mate. 30-day with 30-day policies of Acorn and Southport. Yeah. 5 months on Uber. I can work when I want, stop when I want, take a break. Wait, with HGV, I had to sleep in the cab and I had no time for anything. You can't be making more money though on Uber, profiting more money than on the heavy goods, especially if you're camping out. I can't see it anyway. Marty on Twitch, company called Collingwood do short-term 2 week cover if you're after just a couple of weeks. Yeah, I did not know the Suzuki Space was a Corolla. That's crazy. Hello, Tony. All right, mates. Jumping on our Hackneys. Got to get a plate and a cab. Would you say that's a better option than Uber in this day and age? Tony, it's a gamble, mate. The reason you can get a cab and plate so cheap this year is because it's a dying trade. So if you go and get a cab and plate, you could risk being even devalued even more, or it could happen in the future and it can go up. The Hackneys is a bit of a gamble, mate. Especially if you want to buy a plate, depending on the price and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That for all the likes, guys, on Facebook. Thank you. Last 2 days on Uber, fares down to 50p a mile. No return mileage. Time pickups without mistakes. Mad. Hello, Stephen. Dave Mitchell does 9-seaters, mate. Did he? I thought Dave Mitchell just done V classes, isn't it? And yeah, I just thought he done V classes. Does he do 9-seaters as well? Does he? Yeah. Dave Mitchell in Liverpool does 9-seaters. Serge, shame. Will be greatly to have. Pay as you go. I believe for new drivers, better to rent a car rather than pay extremely high rates for insurance. Can rent a Model Y for 350, 400 a week. 350 to 400 a week, mate, is a lot though. 350 to 400 quid a week is a lot of money. Wow. That's a lot of money, mate. Hello, Weave, how are we on YouTube? Starting next month, first time as an Uber driver. I'm coming. I'm going to give it a go. Hoping I'll have the flexibility of being instead of being stuck in office 9 to 5. Welcome to Uber, love. Great stuff. The only thing I'd recommend to you is try not to quit your full-time job if you've got one and try and work part-time to have a test. You might not like it. You might not earn enough money. Do you know what I mean? So be very careful quitting a full-time job. A lot of people, and people say this to me, I'm not even messing. Oh, I had a 35 grand job and I quit it for Uber because my mate said I'd done whatever, 1,500 quid a week. I quit Uber, and then after about 3 weeks, I am literally skint. I can't make me money that I used to. The expenses are too high. I'm living in my car, and I get that story quite often with different, obviously leaving different jobs and stuff like that. So if you're gonna give Uber a go, don't quit what you currently got and have little trials, little tests of a weekend or of an evening. Don't commit 100% without testing it because it might not be for you. And also, the area you live in might be awful for Uber, so you earn no money. Just be very careful doing it if you're going to be new to Uber. HGV doesn't drive better for the hours you put in, which is 12, 15 hours a day. You're better off with more money on 2 jobs. Pop, yeah, if you like earning below minimum wage. Hello, Derry. Nice one, lads. No worries. Stephen, he has a Tonio a couple of weeks ago. Yes, I didn't know, mate. I just thought he'd done V classes. But if he's doing all minibuses, mate, fair play. PO, speaking to a lad who works for a taxi insurance firm called SEP. Yeah, I've heard of him over the road from Berry Street. Garage, he was saying he could be beat Acorn's quotes all day. Okay, P. If you're looking for insurance, P is saying that SEP will be able to beat Acorn's quotes all day. And they're both Liverpool local firms. I love a little bit of local rivalry. I know a guy who worked in HSBC office but quit it for Uber driving. Wow. Uber's a second job nowadays. I would say Uber's like if you're doing a school run, if you're doing the airport, it's get you home from the airport, or like you say, if you got a cheap car and you're employed and you want to put a plate on it, work of a weekend, top up your money. That's the type of vibe I think Uber's going for, isn't it? Just like America. Hello, Paul. Facey, worked both the last Liverpool and Everton games. There wasn't a single bit of surge. I know it's January, but in days gone by, there was surge around the match. Paul, the problem you got, mate, when Liverpool's at home and there's no Manchester games, all the Mancs come to Liverpool. That's the problem. It's happened for years, but now that the demand's so low, it's awful. So imagine working the match and you're doing £6, £7 from Anfield to Lime Street on an Uber X, and it takes you 13, 14 minutes sometimes, depending on the traffic. Avoid the match now on Uber, mate, if you work in Uber. I would. True. Start Uber only part-time if you have your own car, but if you don't have your own car, renting and working part-time isn't worth it. 100% 100%, mate. Andrew, this is my accountant, by the way. Morning, Matt. Don't forget, lads, capital letters, get your tax returns in before midnight tomorrow to avoid fines. Also, pay your outstanding tax to avoid an 8.25% interest on what you owe them. That's happening tomorrow, Andy. Tomorrow, midnight, the 31st of January. Get your tax returns in before fines and pay your tax. Otherwise, they're going to whack an 8.25% interest on what you owe them. And don't forget, guys, now going into Make Tax Digital and all that, the HMRC can go into your bank account and take the money that they owe you if they want to. Be very careful, mates. Do not mess with the HMRC in 2026. Search on YouTube, yes, it's expensive, but can charge a home, so will be savings there. Yeah, mate, but like 400 quid a month rent, 400 quid a week rent for a Model Y, and then you're charging on top, even if it's 20 quid a week, it's 420. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got all your other expenses, your tyres, and everything else. So you're probably getting 500 quid a week. So you're going to have to do a grand, 1,200 quid a week just to start earning a good. Mate, that's a lot to pay out, mate. I'm telling you. And also, mate, you can get a Model Y now, second hand for about 18 grand. Get that financed up, 18 grand financed up, mate. You're talking 300 quid a month, 350 quid a month, plus your insurance, 500-600 quid a month, instead of 400 quid a week. Sometimes it's not worth renting it when it's that expensive, guys. That's a lot, that 400 quid a week rental. I love the Model Y, but that's excessive. Wow. I might do Uber driving part-time if I get a job soon. Spaces are crawling, another name. Yeah, I didn't even know that. And when I seen the picture, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? Jack's just said to me, accountants, I've just done it an hour ago, Andy. Ha ha ha. Oh, God. So make sure you get your tax paid, guys. Amigo, sorry, mate. I'm working on the comments on Twitch and YouTube, mate, for now. I'll try and get to TikTok as soon as I can, mate. I do apologise. Annie, I done 45 quid in 2 hours working the Liverpool game, but not picking up an Anfield. There was loads of drivers around. Yeah, Danny. Work the outskirts, work a different area. You probably better work in Manchester when Liverpool's on a home. Because they're all here, aren't they? Go into Manchester and clean up, lads. There'll be no drivers. I had no tax to pay because I earned less than 12,750, but I still had to do a self-assessment tax return with the accountants. Hey, was this for last year's tax return? I thought you were on the heavy goods, mate. I'm pretty sure the heavy goods would have used your tax-free allowance, mate. So even though you started Uber halfway through the year, be very careful, mate, because that would have won on top of your heavy goods earnings. Pop car passed, always does, but doesn't make it less stressful. Pop, did it pass? Another taxi passed today, lovely to see. Marty, by the time Lewis put car finance and fuel on, they might as well employ a full-time driver for 30k a year. 100%. Make that Lou paying 1,500 quid insurance is mental, isn't it? Andy, is it worth going part-time on Uber when you take into account what you lose in value of your car registered as a cab? That's what I'm saying, Andy. I think if you're going to go part-time, mate, you got to just plate a bin. You just got to plate a bin, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Don't plate your 40 grand lovely X5 or something like that. Just plate a bin to work part time. Get a little £2,000 flipping Ford Focus, mate, and get it plated. Bob, taxi driving will soon be like a chimney sweeping as an occupation of the past. 100%, mate. Yeah, I wanted a temp insurance myself because I work mostly over the winter, most of the time in the summer. I've got to go out just to front the weekly settle. Nightmare. Ah, okay. I get ya. Spare change, Andrew, yes, but don't use a silly car. Buy a second-hand EV, 12, 15K. That's what I mean, spare. If you're going to go part-time, obviously don't settle a car. Don't plate a nice, expensive car or nothing like that. You depreciate too much. Do you know what I mean? Go and get yourself a cheap car. Like you say, second-hand EV or a really cheap diesel, and have that plated for your part-time Uber. That's your best bet if you're going to do part-time. Be very careful, like. Andrew Accountant, AA, Matty is correct. I've learned from the best, Andy, haven't I? I've learned from the best. Day on Facebook, not worth investing hundreds of pounds in a business for minimum wage. It's not fair play all day long. Yeah, mate. Yeah, going forward, mate. Uber 2026. You're better off doing cheapest chips, minimalistic expenses to try and get your profits up as best you can. Quiet strength. All I've been doing recently is replacing tyres on my car due to potholes. I think I'll start a tyre business instead. Mate, the potholes are bad. The potholes are bad, mate. Really bad. So you're not wrong there, lad. Shades, yeah, in fact, food insurance for the Model Y. 10K as a new PhD driver. I will do more research after I get my license. I have a full-time job for 40K. I just need extra money to become mortgage free. You got a full-time job of 40 grand a year and you're going part-time Uber to get extra money. Oh, mental. Whoever you're getting licensed with, mate, right? If you're ever getting licensed with, go and get an old cheap car. Do you know what I mean? Don't go and get a expensive car, especially if you're new driving insurance. Teslas are one of the most expensive insurances, cars to insure. Do you know what I mean? Look at like a Ford Focus estate, mate, like £2,000 or something like that, or a Mondeo, yeah, correct, P, or a Skoda Octavia, and get that plated and run that as part time. Do you know what I mean? Have you got your own personal car? Leave it as a personal car. That's what your best, yeah. Pops just said, best is get an old banger. Either get an old banger or get a cheap EV and home charge. Because we've proved in other videos that your electric charging can pay for your finance of your electric car. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a £2,000 Ford Focus, £500 a month in diesel, you might be better off getting a 10 grand, 12 grand EV home charging for the same amount of money. Do you know what I mean? Because at least then you're in a nicer car as well and a bit more reliable than an old banger. But it depends on your running costs as well. Hi, Philip on YouTube. Hello, mate. Thank you for joining in. I do Uber part time in an old Focus. I usually make 15 to £20 an hour after expenses. I think it's worth it. Flexible, easy, clean job. Philip, you hit the nail on the head, mate. Don't be going plating your personal X5. Don't be going renting and stuff like that. If you literally got a bin. So, like, listen, guys, right? At the moment, I'm not on the cabs. I've pulled away for January. I'm too busy with the content, too busy with running the airport company and the news blog. I'm a very busy guy, right? But I've got my 7 Series at the moment, just as a personal car. I love it. It's a great car. I've got my Model 3, which is my wife's car. If I was going to continue and have a plated vehicle going forward, yeah, I would literally do what he's saying. If I was going to get a part-time vehicle to work around my main job, which is content, running the airport company, running the news blog, but I still want to stay private hire, then I would literally go out and get a £2,000 Mondeo, yeah, and get it plated and have a sat on the drive. No finance, no fuel bill because I'm not driving it. Little insurance, But when I do drive it, it will cost me money in diesel and depreciation and everything else. But when I'm not using it, because it's part-time, it doesn't cost me anything. If you're a full-time driver, then you can look at getting a big settle buy, get a big finance on an EV for home charge because you're using it so much. If you're doing loads of miles, you've got to look at reducing your mileage costs. If you're only doing it part-time, you've got to look at your purchase cost and how much it's costing you per month parked up. That's the difference, guys. So everyone's scenario is different. Do you know what I mean? Suzuki Swace looks decent. A 23 plate for 19 grand, Arnold Clark. Is it, mate? I didn't even know Suzuki Swaces exist until today's stream. 19 quid for a flipping 23 plate. What's the mileage on that, Jack? Sounds alright, that lad. ISI on YouTube. Home charge cost me £20 to charge full, including night tariff. Am I paying too much? 1,000,000,000% if you're paying £20 to charge your car full. Like, how was it costing you 20 quid? Jack, apparently the Tesla Model S and the Model X is stopping being made for robotaxis. Mate, I done a news article on it like yesterday or the day before. DM News, baby, go check it out. And I literally covered that. He is focusing on robotaxis and cybercabs, mate. Model 3, Model Y, cybercabs. That's what Tesla's focusing on now. How's DM going? Ticking over, mate. I'm not getting much work in for Jan, but I'm getting the odd bookings in for like throughout the year. Do you know what I mean? People like booking in for Feb or March, or I had a couple of bookings come in for Creamfields in August. It's a bit eager, isn't it? Can I just ask, is DN Airport Centre is nationwide? It is, RAF, nationwide, all vehicles, pre-booked service. Brilliant. RAF, great setup, lad, thank you. Sarah, it's definitely in a decline. It is. Pop, I use a 2K Mondeo, will be high mileage already. Yeah, Pop, but I'm on about part-time. Do you know what I mean? If I have a 2 grand Mondeo and it lasts me 6 months and it blows up, I've got 2 months worth of work out of it, haven't I, or whatever? Do you know what I mean? I'm on about a part-time vehicle compared to a full-time vehicle. Would I go and get a 2 grand Mondeo if I was doing 60 hours a week on Uber? No. I'd get a full electric home charge for doing 60 hours a week. But if I wanted a car parked up, that's dead cheap parked up, but expensive to run, perfect for part-time, I'd get an arm Mondeo or anything. 29,000 miles, 19 grand. That sounds like a good option, doesn't it? Have they, the Toyota Corollas have been stopped getting made. I don't know if you know. I've got a Tesla Model 3 now, mate, yeah, and a 7 Series. If the Toyota Corolla's being made, is the Suzuki Swace stop being made? Or are they continuing on? Because it could be a really good Corolla option, couldn't it? Corolla replacement option. So it's a 29p on the day tariff and 8.5p at night tariff. Right, 8.5p is expensive, Sage, on a night tariff. But if you're charging on a night tariff, how's it costing you 20 quid when it's 8.5p? Because if your car is 60 kilowatts or 70 kilowatts, 70 times 8.5. £5.95 it should be costing you on a full charge, Siege, if you're charging up on a night tariff. Commuter, Elon did say the future was autonomous. 100%, mate. 100%. I do not disagree. I done a news article on this morning, and Uber is partnered with Nvidia, who makes the graphic cards, and Mercedes to bring driverless S-classes to Uber. Driverless S-classes to Uber. It's all going to be going off, mate. What was the name of the taxi company on Berry Street that is cheaper than Acorn. SEP or SECT? SEP, mate. SEP. I'm pretty sure it was SEP. SEP Insurance. SEP Insurance, commercial, blah, 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 blah. Insurance broker. I'm pretty sure he said SEP, mate. I imagine, do you have any DM transfers associated with all Northern Ireland? No, mate, I haven't pushed Northern Ireland commuter. Only the UK and Scotland. Because I just wouldn't know what the drivers would be like. I don't know the pricing. Do you know what I mean? I might push it in the future, but at the moment I'm trying to focus on London and Heathrow and stuff like that, mate. That's where all the money is in Heathrow, innit? Heathrow, Manchester, really. Yeah, I Gav. Jack, little bit of flipping background for the Swace, by the way. So Gav has bought my Swace used a year ago, paid 12.5 grand for it with 36,000 miles. Cheap because it needed small rear bumper repair, 200 quid repair, plated, and has served me well. But the Swace has been discontinued as well as the Corolla. Right. So the Swace can't replace the Corolla then. That's why when I done it, I don't know if you've seen the car review I done with Car and Cab Care. I done the BYD Seal Tourer. BYD Seal Tourer. That looks good. That could be a possible option for replacing the Corolla in the future. Plug-in hybrid, BYD Seal Tourer. Marty, this is for the accountant, by the way, Andy. If you're still here, mate, is there a daily interest charge for late payments, or is it just a one-off 8.5% on the tax return? Asking for a friend. So, Marty, what you're saying is, if your tax bill is 8 grand, yeah, and it hits the February the 1st, yeah, you want to know, is it 8.5% on the total 8 grand, or is it 8.5% per day, or like per week? You know what I mean? On top. Is that what you want to? Is that what you want to know, Marty? I once I've done 1,000 jobs on my Model 3, be able to accept exec jobs. No, Brian, the Model 3 is not classed as exec, mate. It's a 78 kilowatts. Yeah, but you can't use all the 78 kilowatts charge. So if you've got a 78 kilowatt, normally the usable range is 74 or 73. So if you've got a 73 kilowatt, mate, and you're charging 8.5p at night, it's costing you, mate, about 6 quid on a full charge. So don't know where you're getting 20 quid from, lad. I really don't. So after likes and comments, mate, much appreciated. It does help massively. If you hit that like button, you hit the follow or the subscribe, depending on what you're watching, or sending me hearts on my head. Joe, get on Twitch if you haven't already, mate. I need more viewers on Twitch. Find me a job anytime. Model 3, Uber X Comfort. Nice. I do Uber in a 2016 B class. Mike, it depends if your council that you're licensed with accepts the 2016 B class. So Uber doesn't have car restrictions. Uber just allows whatever your council allows. So if you can get it plated, I'm pretty sure Uber allows it. I don't know about like exec or comfort or nothing like that, but I'm on about for like your standard Uber X. Yeah, Andrew was just saying this. Great, great, great. So, what we're talking about here is if you owe the tax man and you're going to pay him late. So, on the 1st of February 2026, you owe the tax and you owe the money, but you can't pay them. My accountant said that you're going to get charged an 8.5% charge on top of your tax bill. So, as an example, if you owe 8 grand and you clear 4 grand before the 31st of January, that means your outstanding is 4 grand. Then you'll only charge you interest on the balance. So it's pay as much as you can afford. But Andy, what he's asking, mate, is the 8.5% just like an annual thing, like a per day thing, or are they adding 8.5% on that 4 grand outstanding? Because I'm pretty sure it'll just be like an AMPR thing, won't it? It'll just be like an interest rate, won't it, on top of the £4 grand. It'll just tick over, won't it, every day or every week or every month. Mental that. Pay your tax bill, kids. What's the age limit on registering a car with Uber? There's no age limit, Marty. It depends on the council, mate. Philip, I'm pretty sure, mate, there's no age limit, lad. 2007. Well, that might be the age limit, mate, but that's 19 years. It's a one-off fee, but it'll be added annually. Yeah, so it's an interest in it, Andy. So longer he hasn't paid it, more he gets charged, doesn't he? At 8.5%. So it's like 8.5% APR in it. So if it's been 12 months, Andy, it'll be 8% on top of the £4 grand, won't it? But if he pays it after 1 month, it'll be 8.5% of a month, wouldn't it? Tap the likes and follows, much appreciated, and the subscribes. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, hit it now. It is free to do so. Thank you. Is doing a tax return yourself difficult to do? 100% AA. Make sure you get an accountant, matey. Each council is different. Doesn't matter about Uber. They want 2,600 Uber. Doesn't Uber say vehicle has to be maximum 10 years old? No, AA. As rappers just pointed out, there's no age limit on Uber. The age limits are only for the Uber Comfort and the Uber execs. There's no age limit for Uber. Your council dictates the age. So that's why you see different ages. So like Sheffield, I think is like only 5 years old. Liverpool is 8 years old. And then after that, you go on a 6 month plate for as long as you need it to. My car's 13 years old and it's still plated. Do you know what I mean? So it depends on the council. Uber just accepts whatever the council dictates of the age requirements, guys. Any advice for me as a woman driver starting with Uber next month? Bit nervous, never done it before, giving it a go. Eek. Right, I said this on the last stream. Don't have an opinion. Honestly, don't have an opinion about sport, religion, politics. Don't have an opinion. Just be quite agreeable. If someone's a bit wired or a bit mad and they're talking about politics or Keir Starmer or whatever, just kind of, oh yeah, just kind of go along with them. Do you know what I mean? But generally, don't cause confrontation and you shouldn't have a problem. Do you know what I mean? Just be prepared because you're obviously a bird as well. You might get a bit of abuse. Do you know what I mean? Because I know a few of my mates who are foreign lads, they get a bit of abuse because they're foreign. Do you know what I mean? So if like Scousers probably won't get as much abuse as someone with like a Manchester accent. Do you know what I mean? So if you're working in Liverpool as a Manc accent and someone gets drunk, you might get abused for it. But with Liverpool accents in Liverpool, you might not. I've done a couple of jobs in Manchester over the years when I've dropped off, picking up. Same again. Scouser, what are you doing in Manchester? Do you know what I mean? So it's just confliction of different opinions and stuff like that. But realistically, you'll be sound. Stick to your days for now. Don't do your nights while you're new, because the night is where all the craziness happens a bit. The night is a little bit nuts. So if you stick to your days and taking people to and from work, you should be all good. You should be all good. You just got to let that stuff go over your head sometimes, Ben. 100%. We're all going to get a bit of abuse. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, you just got to let it go over your head. Be dead chill. Oh, yeah. Try not to get an opinion. Don't get rattled. Do you know what I mean? Because as soon as you start biting back, doesn't matter what the subject is, if they're bevied, they're going to come back at you. Do you know what I mean? So just try and be chill. Try not to have any problems, and you should be all good. Andrew, no, it's an 8.5% as an instant charge. So normally in February, you would receive the bill for the interest. Yeah, that's what I mean, but it's 8.5% ANPR, isn't it? APR, so it's 8.5% rolling, isn't it? So if you haven't paid your £4 grand in February, you get an 8.5% charge at the end of February, won't you? rolling in it, and then next month another 8.5%. So it's like an AMPR. It's like an APR, in it, an annual interest rate charge for as long as you owe them. That's what I'm getting at. Just like getting a bank loan, in it. The HMRC, like, you owe us £4,000, we're lending you that £4,000 now going forward, but you owe us 8.5% interest. That's technically what they're doing, aren't they, Andy? Imagine the DM transfers get much exec work. So it's DM Airport Transfers, guys. DM Transfers is a Turkish company. I do get that mixed up quite a lot. So yes, I do get a bit of exec work, mate, but I only send jobs to operators. And at the moment, I've got enough of them, mate. Got like 350 operators up and down the country. So I'm good for operators for now, mate. Thank you. So don't like message me. I need drivers because I get that after every stream. I'm all good for drivers. Thank you, guys. I will advertise if I need more drivers. Do you know what I mean? But if you know anyone who's going on holiday, send them to DM Airport Transfers. UK wide, legend. If you work on the taxis and someone's like, oh, I'm going to need to get to the airport next week, and you haven't got an op license and you're not going to do it, send them to DM Airport Transfers. That's all I ask. And also like and subscribe. Florence, the only way to be worth is to deactivate UberX and share and leave only UberX priority to be the only one available. If all drivers will do the same, we get better pay. Yes, and leave your comfort on or your exec on or your exec XL on. So when it's busy, a lot of people turn UberX off and just work going forward with that. Serge, my council's up to 6 years old, car for the first time plated, and up to 12-year-old max, but no restrictions at all for EVs. Wow. Serge, sounds to me like a second-hand EV might be your thing. We'll talk about it in the WhatsApp group later. Do you know what I mean? We'll get like an AL, maybe get like an AL MG5 or an AL High Mile Model 3 or something like that. Commuter, I agree with your assessment from earlier. Uber prices are too low now. Only evening and weekends have a chance for reasonable prices. I'm merely retired from my job and have a pension and a school run. Nice one, commuter. Keep cracking on, lads. Oh, yeah, you do get verbal abuse. I got told to go back home following some swearing at me. That's what I mean, Florence. It happens. I'm out of Manchester. I get back to Liverpool. If you're not from the UK, you'll be getting told to get back to your own country. It all happens, guys. You know what I mean? It's just nasty. We covered one of DM News the other day, and he had a free Palestine air freshener. That was it. Not a problem. Just a free air freshener, doing the job, and he got a load of abuse and refused to pay because of Palestine and all this crap. Do you know what I mean? That's why you shouldn't have any political views, any flags, any football scarves or signs. Do you know what I mean? Don't be working in Manchester with a flipping Copite for Life t-shirt in the back window or something. Do you know what I mean? Just don't have anything. You're just neutral. Imagine like a news reporter. You're just unopinionated. You're unbiased. And you just, yeah. Oh, yeah, Keir Starmer stopped the boats. Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah. Oh, 5G towers cause cancer. Oh, yeah. I remember them. Yeah, cancer's causing towers. Yeah, I remember them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what happened about blah, blah? Oh, blah, yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, terrible news, that's terrible. Honestly, people get in my car and go, like, about politics, like, oh, who are you voting for? Especially when the big election was up with the Conservatives and Labour. Labour's very high, Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So if you're working in Liverpool and you're voting Conservative, and then the conversation of a drunk passenger comes up saying who you're voting for, and you say Conservative in Liverpool, straight away that could cause you a fight, an argument. Do you know what I mean? So that's politics. I'm not into politics, mate. Don't know who to vote for, so I'm not going to vote. Easy as that, guys. Just literally play the game. Play the game. That's the best way to be. Thanks and welcome to your service. On the airports, mate. Yeah. It's just a 25 quid clean-up charge on top of the fare, just so the driver can get a valeted afterwards. Get jobs in Edinburgh. I get a Tesla to buy. Mate, I get a few jobs in Edinburgh. What have I got coming up? I've got one might be coming up Carlisle to Edinburgh. I got a couple of ones. Are you in the WhatsApp group for Scotland? I haven't had one for a while. Scotland not since last year. I don't get many. I've got some coming up that's booked in. I've never had any bother in a taxi. Used to drive the night shift buses through Glasgow city centre the weekend carnage. That's it, Gav. But hey, so you on the taxis in Glasgow? Are you a Glaswegian, Gav? Let me know, mate. If you're a Glaswegian in Scotland, I can't imagine you getting much bother. Yeah, don't discuss politics, religion, gender. People want to discuss everything you and want to know what you believe in. 100%, mate. They'll be quizzing you. And if you don't answer correctly, mate, and the bevy or whatever, you're in trouble, aren't you? Samuel on Facebook. I'm from Manchester. I work in Liverpool all the time. Never had an issue at all because I tell them I prefer Scousers because they are more friendly. It works. See, Samuel, you're playing the game, lad. You're playing the game, and that's what you're meant to have to do. Florence, do you guys notice how Uber tried to pay drivers £100 per mile? I rejected all and I kept me on the side for 3 hours, no jobs. Florence, that's just the way it's going now. You're just gonna have to just go out and work Uber if you want to work Uber. If you don't work Uber. I wouldn't go out cherry picking and cancelling jobs trying to get better rates. It's not gonna happen. Just go out and work and be happy or go and do another job. That's how my advice would be. Spare change, such good advice, Matty. Don't get sucked into a debate as you'll get a headache. 100%, honest to God. I get people in the car. First thing they say is, who do you support, mate? Being from Liverpool, it's got to be Everton or Liverpool, isn't it? Who do you support, mate? It's a 50-50 chance of answering wrong. It is a 50-50 chance of answering wrong. Who do you support, mate? So another lad, David gets in the car. Who do you support? In Liverpool. Everton or Liverpool. If I say Liverpool, it's an Evertonian. If I say Everton and it's Liverpoolian, it's, you know what I mean? Football? What is football? Is that where you kick a ball? I'm not too sure, mate. Exactly. Is that? If I want to license a second car, do you know if we need a separate insurance if I'm just driving it myself? Yes, because fleet insurance is normally 3 cars and above. I have just, by the way, guys, I have just had 2 vehicles last year. It is very expensive. 8 sets of tyres, 2 MOTs, 2 plates, 2 servicing, 2 repairs, 2 maintenance, 2 insurance, 2 diesels. It's expensive, honestly. And you don't realise until you run 2 vehicles. Commuter, I tell people who ask what I vote for, the all-night party. How do we join the WhatsApp group, Matty? Become a member of the YouTube channel. So if any member of the YouTube channel comes in the WhatsApp group if he wants. And it's dead chill. It's only like 20, 30 of us, I think, isn't it? Up and down the country. We just chat and chat bubbles, really, and keep each other company. But if you want to come in the WhatsApp group, just join the membership and I'll add you after the stream. I am picky with the jobs with its busy time, but when it's quiet, usually can't be picky. That's it, AA. You can't be picky, mate, when it's dead. But if it's dead busy, you can cherry pick a bit. But like otherwise, you just be sat there for hours with no money. Gav, I'm from Glasgow, live in North Lanarkshire now. So that's Gav, that's what I mean is, you're a Scotsman, you probably won't have much trouble with a drunk Scotsman. I'm from Liverpool, well I sound like from Liverpool from Knowsley, but I don't have problems with Scousers. But when people have problems is when you're not from that area. Do you know what I mean? You might have a Brummie accent or a Manchester accent, or you know, just come from the country in a different language, or you don't speak good English. That's when you start having problems. Or like no offense, but if girls come on the job, they might get sexist jokes. Do you know what I mean? What are you doing out the kitchen, love? Do you know what I mean? Can't believe there's women Uber drivers. So that's what I'm trying to say. If there's anything different out of the norm, that's normally when you have a bit of problem. That's why I don't normally have a problem. realistically. And also, I'm big, fat, and massive, so I don't really normally approach problems as well. Do you know what I mean? When I'm sat in the front looking like Bowser in Mario Karts, they're not really going to pick on me much, are they? Wolfie just logged on Twitch. Thank you, Wolfie. Jack, do 150, 200 every day, 3 a.m., 10 a.m., 100% worth it. Nice. You do 150 to 200 quid every day, 3 a.m. till 10 a.m. But Jack, do you know what, mate? They're like peep. You're not going to get any better. You're not going to get any better than those hours, mate. 3 a.m. till 10 a.m. is like an amazing shift. Hard shift, but an amazing shift. I don't watch football as my answer. 100%, mate. Thanks, Matty. I think I'll just stick to one car then. I would, mate. I would. The Hyundai bus you had, how was it? Thinking about one for my missus to drive. It's big enough for the kids and the cleaning business stuff. So, Jack, the Hyundai i800 was good. It was dead cheap for an auto. Not many cheap autos you can get for buses, but it is expensive to run. The diesel, it's not as efficient as like other buses. So if you're not doing loads of miles in it, mate, it'll be brilliant. Thank you for all the info, Matt. Good luck going for an interview now. Good luck, Florence. Thanks for popping in. Church Telegram is much better than WhatsApp. I think about this. Well, I've got the Discord. There's like 500 people in the Discord. I've got that. That's pretty chill. That links on Driver Matty. That's free. So if you want to go and join the Discord, jump on that. That's completely free. And then the WhatsApp's private. There's only like 30 or 40 of others in there. No one's messing with Matty. It's just because I'm big, lad. Like, you think about it, I'm like, what? What am I doing? I'm 19 stone, 6'5". Do you know what I mean? So I'm in the car, and someone gets in the car, they're not going to be as aggressive towards me, do you know what I mean? Where, like, if you're a smaller or skinny driver, you might get a bit more hassle, do you get me? But no, I've never really had any problems with the taxis. But like I said, I'm local to the area, and obviously I'm a big lad anyway. When you're back at Sean's, would like you to come say hello. I do one of the school runs. Oh, do you, Wolfie? So, mate, I was actually at Sean's yesterday, and a few drivers popped up and said hello. Who was there because of Sean, but watched me as well. So, what's got was pretty cool to speak to a few of the people who watch me as well in person. We're talking about the Ionic 9. By the way, guys, YouTube tonight, the EV3 review is going live at 6 p.m. Tomorrow night, the Ionic 9 Hyundai is going live 6 p.m. And then Sunday, the EV5 is going live 6 p.m. on YouTube. 3 reviews are coming live tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday night. Sit back and watch because they're belters. The Ionic 9 blew me away, mate. 7 passengers with luggage in a SUV. It's humongous, mate. I think it was like 350 or 380 miles on a single charge. 6 passengers, sorry. 7 including the driver. Mental car. That's coming tonight, YouTube. Get on it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, you beautiful people. Hello, TikTok. Sorry, I've been trying to keep up with you as best as I can. How much can you make average doing Uber? Minimum wage job, at best. Best bands of the footy fans, especially all them out of towners that come to Anfield. Yeah, so if you support Liverpool and you get like Newcastle fans that coming out and you want to have a little bit of banter, that's not bad at all. Never have any problems with Scousers or love. Yes, Ghost, good lad. Busy today? Yes, always. Hi there, small question if you can answer. I have a Toyota Prius, but Uber doesn't class as classic as a 7. You know, you have a Toyota Prius Plus, but Uber doesn't class it as an Uber XL. No, I'm pretty sure that your council allow it as 6 passengers. So on the back of your taxi plate, mate, does it say you can take 6 passengers? Do you know what I mean? Does your yes? So your council says your car's for 6 passengers, but Uber will not allow you on Uber XL. Very unusual. How old is it? All this commission stuff is it for Uber Taxi or only or Uber Eats as well? Uber Eats is similar, mate. They'll be charging the Mackies set amounts and then do you know what I mean? I don't know, unknown, 2018. XL, it should be allowed. I'd message him a few times and just say, my license to carry 6 passengers, but you're only allowing me to carry 4. Why? Pester them. Or go into the hub, mate, and find out. Because you should be allowed Uber XL with that. Definitely. Jack, she only does 5k miles a year. I'm in DM Scotland WhatsApp. Yeah, so what's going to 5,000 miles a year? The Hyundai i800 would be perfect for it then. Because it's not the greatest on fuel, but it's automatic, dead easy to drive, big and spacious for the kids, got a good boot, do you know what I mean? And dead cheap to buy. Where if you want like a automatic minibus other than the Hyundai i800, then you're looking like an extra 5-6 grand, mate. So you start looking at Ford Toneos and Vitos and stuff like that. So the Ionic 9, he sells them for 51, but I think they retail at like 60, 65. He's getting like 10, 15 grand off the list price, which is mental. But yeah, 50, 51 grand, yeah. I've been doing Uber Eats for a few years now, and I've been super low earnings. Mate, I've been told by a few of the lads now that Uber Eats and Uber taxis pay similar on the short distance stuff. But obviously, taxis have like a hell of a lot more expenses. So you might be better off doing Uber Eats these days. There's a little side cut income than the taxis, isn't it? Hello, Lewis on YouTube. How are we, mate? How do you make money with settled cars like 200 a week? That's the main thing putting me off. Seems hard. We're sick of working for dickheads. Yeah, Lewis. So the settled cars, mate, is for your full timers. Do you know what I mean? So if you're paying 200 quid a week settle, you got your fuel. So probably 350 a week. Talk about some other bits and bobs expenses. You're probably talking 400 quid a week expenses. So you do a grand in a week. The grand will probably take you 50 hours a week. 50 hours a week, you earn a grand, your bank 600, 550, and here's your minimum wage. That's about right, isn't it? Would you say that's right? About right, isn't it? Expenses about 450 a week, a grand earnings in 50 hours, you're on minimum wage. That's it. The more hours you work, more profit you make. Because the big lump sum of your settle car was miles away, wasn't it? Uber Eats can be better paid, but it's the time taken to complete an order. That's true because you got to go in and get the food and that. It's a shout. Commuter, that's amazing discount, but still 51k. I know. He said to me, I think it was for settle by, it was 10 grand down payment. So technically, you give the old car in, like your part taxi car in. So 10 grand down payment and 300 quid a week, I think, for 3 years, and then the car's yours. But if you think about it, mate, if you're doing 5 passengers with 5 suitcases and you're doing big airport runs and all that, and you're running at 20p a 2p a mile, 3p a mile in a big car like that, it could be worth it, but it's expensive. Sounds heavy, thanks for the info. Lewis, that's it, mate. So if anyone says to me, right, how much you're earning on a taxi is, you're banking around minimum wage, maybe a little bit less, but obviously you own the car, don't you? So just say you're banking 10, 11 quid after all your expenses and your tax. So if you're doing 50 hours a week or 60 hours, call it 60 hours a week, realistically full timers, you're banking 6 ton in your back pocket after your expenses and tax and stuff. Maybe a little bit less of 60 hours a week. Do you know what I mean? The game isn't for the rich. The game is for someone who needs flexibility and can still earn like a minimum wage without having a manager. That's it, really. You don't come on Uber to make bank. You come on Uber because you can't do much else, or you're unmanageable, or do you know what I mean? You want to be your own boss, like that. But realistically, mate, it is a minimum wage job. I do Uber Eats Sunday morning, 8 till 11. What's that? 3 hours. I get about 50 to 70 quid. In 3 hours, mate, you wouldn't get 70 quid on Uber taxis in 3 hours. You wouldn't. And the thing is, mate, you could do that on a scooter, on a little lecky bike, couldn't you? You don't even need a car. You don't even need a taxi badge. Do you know what I mean? People always rush for the taxis and Uber taxis, and there's other options out there to earn dough without the big expenses. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've always found. If you think about it, you do your Amazon Flex, you can do your tax, you can do your Amazon Flex, your Uber Eats, you can do loads of stuff without having the big taxi expenses. I applied for my badge 6 months ago, still waiting on St. Helens Council. Yeah, rough that like. That's heavy words. That's heavy words, Matt. Unmanageable, minimum wage pay, etc. But it's true though, mate. I am unmanageable. I've been self-employed for over 10 years. If you speak to any one of my managers, mate, I am unmanageable. Once I worked in an office and all the girls were allowed to wear summer dresses in the heat and we still had to wear shirts and pants. And I said, why are the girls allowed summer dresses? They're breezy, they're comfortable, no aircon or nothing, and we've got to wear a shirt and tie and like pants. And he went, that's just a dress code. I went, well, it's not very fair, is it? The girls don't have to wear dress attire. You can wear summer dresses. But us lads, got to wear shirt and pants. So I went in the next day in my wife's summer dress. True story. I went in my wife's summer dress to prove a point. And he went, well, you can't do that. I went, why can't I? Why can't I? You can wear them, so why can't I? And I sat there on the desk in my wife's summer dress. That is a true story. I am unmanageable. If I can find a picture, I'll throw it up on the edit later. True story. So yes, the taxis, self-employment was perfect for me. Unmanageable, mate. I reckon if you choose the right car, EV and work, the most profitable times, weekends, you can clear over £20 per net. We need to be clever about it. It means less flexibility. Yeah, you can. Depends on your area as well, spare change. Some areas are actually a lot better than others. They are, for a fact. Do you know what I mean? I'm around 350 quid before profit. Yeah, P. Sounds about right, mate. Spare change, that's hilarious. Power to you, mate. Honestly, I am married. Honestly, that is a very true story. And then a bit later, I kind of got, I was getting sacked and that caught me just like watching telly and that instead of that. But like I said, that's why I'm self-employed. Unmanageable. I just thought you minimum wage. That's why Uber came with the 49% commission. That commission are exclusive for drivers that don't earn much. Not Uber to make profits. Uber everything. That's what she wants to make profits. Only high commissions. Mate, Uber will and always will look after the customers because obviously that's what brings them the income. They'll always get a driver to do the job. Yeah, they want to maximise income as a company, as a profit. So they will charge the customer how much, as much as they can, that the algorithm will allow them. Do you know what I mean? And then once the customers accepted that price, then the algorithm will try and get as much money they can off the driver. So it's expensive for the customer, low price for the driver, big chunk in the middle goes to Uber. That's their algorithm, that's their process. Do you know what I mean? In the end, there's a multi-billion-pound corporation or millionaire corporation in America, and they've been doing it for years in America as well. And that is their goal. And is literally charge the customer as much as they can, take as much from the driver as they can, and as long as the customer gets taken from A to B, everyone's happy, but the passenger and the driver, because the passenger pays a lot and the driver gets a bill. They started Uber early retirement after watching you, Matty, and Fancy a Bev. I wanted flexibility and choice to work if I wanted to. I already had an EV, home charging, solar, battery setup. Perfect scenario, mate. He sounds like me, that lad. Amount of jobs I've had, I like to work on my own terms, hate being told what to do, ball and chain around your neck. Mate, 100%. I used to work for Liverpool Council. I was a gas engineer, fully qualified, heating and ventilation engineer. That was me. It was my trade, going out of school. And I was getting sacked in that from Liverpool Council for speeding in the van. And then, like, I got pulled in. Got pulled in for speeding in the van, got me on the trackers, and pulled me in the office and were like, hey, did you know we tracked the vans? I went, oh, yeah. And then he pulled me in and went, here's a list of all the speeding vans. And I was at the top. I went, what do we win? You know what I mean? Me being a flipping sarky, funny kid, like. Well, what, like, went to high five the flipping manager. And, yeah, they put me in a fine on it in the morning for speeding in the van. So, yeah. Don't try and high five your manager for having the record of the highest speed in the works van. Another true story, guys. Yes, so once again, unmanageable. But the trade was good. Gas engineer, good money, but my head went with it, like, do you know what I mean? I was leaving gas leaks everywhere and stuff. It was just mental. I was just bad for the job. Do you know what I mean? I was just like leaving things unscrewed and that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like going home and going, hey, did I screw that nut in? Woman like floating down the street next to me on a living room door because the house is flooded, and I'm like, I don't think I tightened that nut correctly. So yeah, some jobs are not for everyone, some jobs are for others, and it wasn't for me. Uber drivers consistently say the pay was so much better than 5, 10 years ago. Yeah, mate. Honestly, pre-COVID, it was amazing. Pre-COVID, mate, Uber was hard to beat. It was unreal. I had something similar with the late. I got to a stage where I was supposed to start at 6, wasn't turning in, gone 10 o'clock. Mate, I was bad. Back in the day, mate, I was bad. And we had a work van. We had a work van, and if I couldn't be asked, I'd drive to the first job, do the job, and then I'd slightly disconnect the battery from the van. Phone the officer, go, my van won't take over to, start. So they get the AA out. Do you know what I mean? And then the AA takes like an hour or whatever, hour and a half. So there's me chilling in the van, having a butty or whatever. And then just before the AA comes, I'll just tighten the battery up and touch the touch. And then he'll come and start. I go, oh, what's that? And I go, your battery connector was a bit loose on your van. Was it? And what's happened there? Sometimes you come loose, going over speed bumps and that. Stuff there. Loads of times, man. Honestly, I was awful, mate. Awful. Yeah. They used to track it on the sets and, the systems and stuff. So when you drive through the Birkenhead tunnel, you turn your phone off because you lose signal in the Birkenhead tunnel anyway. Then you drive off and then you go home early. And then you turn your phone back on later and you'll go, what happened to you, lad? Last time you seen you on the track, it was in Mersey Tunnel. Oh, mate, there was traffic, was bad. Yeah, there was a crash. It was before social media and all that stuff. Oh, there was a crash. And we got trapped in the tunnel for ages. Drove straight home, lad. Loads of little scammers back in the day, boss. If you are a gas engineer or electrician now, it's like a lottery for a lot of young people because it's so difficult for them to get apprenticeships. Yeah, mate, the apprenticeships are dead, aren't they? But if you're a tradesman now, mate, you're not going to get replaced by AI anytime soon, are you? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I think the trades if you're doing anything physically with your hands, then I think you're good to go. Do you know what I mean? Licensing outside JLA, Sefton drivers must have signs. Yeah, mate. Do you all not need signs? They'll get you. A keel, no. Hello, Hello, mate, on Facebook. Any idea what best council to go with? West Midlands, mate. Wherever you live, or wherever you plan on working. Well, I'd say wherever you live. So, Andy, whoever sends you your council tax bill, Go license with them. It's best bet. Future proofed. If you want your own ops license, there's no problems out of area, etc., etc. Your best bet is your own where you live. Definitely your best bet. So, guys, we have done 3 live streams this week. And they've all been boss. Next, we'll be back next Monday, 10 a.m. again. Make sure you come over to Twitch, follow on Twitch, watch on Twitch. I'm trying to grow Twitch. So more people on Twitch. Obviously, on YouTube, the better. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I will obviously be back Monday. I'm going to finish up this now, 5-10 minutes. And I'll be back Monday. And yeah, looking forward to it, kids. I was a PC engineer. I used to log in remotely from home, save travelling, how to fix them. Legend. Legend. Boss, mate. There's loads of little scams you could do back in the day. Because obviously before, when I used to work for Liverpool Council, mate, there's no like, it was before sat navs and that. So it was all on the A to Z. When I was an apprentice. Do you know what I mean? So before even you could blag it, there's loads of blags you could do. Confessions of a gas engineer. That's coming. That's my next YouTube channel. Confessions of a gas engineer. There's loads of scams, weren't there? Back in the day, you could get away with anything. These days, you can't get away with nothing, can you? It's because the economy is tanking. Labour are putting nails in the coffin with apprentices and minimum wage increases. May change? I don't know, mate. Like, people keep blaming. Like, I'm not a politician, mate. I haven't got a clue. But people keep blaming Labour for the current situation we're in. Right? So, if I come round your house, spare change, and I punched you in the face every day for 14 years, right? And then you decide to go to hospital to get your face fixed, and they hit you with a 10 grand fat, like a 10 grand charge to get your face fixed. Whose fault is it that you had to pay the 10 grand? Is it the hospital, aka Labour? Is it me, aka the Conservatives? Or what? Or yourself? And that's the whole point, is the country's been bled dry for 14 years with the Conservatives. Labour's come in for 6 months, and Labour's getting all the blame. You need to do stuff to try and fix the last 15 years. And I've said this for ages. Do you know what I mean? But realistically, Labour still needs more time to try and fix stuff. It's got to, you can't have a go at Labour when it's only just gone into power. How come you got rewards turned off, P? What's that mean? What's rewards mean, P? Let me know, mate, because I'm new to Twitch. It's amazing how your work ethic gets better once you are self-employed. Does it though, Wolfie? Have you ever woke up in the morning employed and you got to be in for 9 and you're crying your eyes out, slurping on your porridge, trying to get in for 9? Where when you're self-employed, you got to get in for 9. You just go, I'll just start at 10. Self-employment is great, but it's also awful. Self-employment is great. We got the flexibility to start work, finish work, but it's also awful because you got a flexibility of starting work and finishing work. How many times have you woke in the morning and went, I can't be bothered? When I was doing Uber, near the end, I was really hating it. I wasn't really liking it, but I still needed to do Uber for income. I'll go out and sit in the driveway. I'll put Smooth FM on. I'll have tears rolling down my cheeks, yeah? And I'll turn the app on. I'll see 2 free job offers. And I'll look at them and go, ugh. And then I'll walk back in the house and have a coffee and don't go out that day. And I needed to, financially. But self-employment is great and it is flexible. But the flexibility of self-employment is its greatest thing, but also its worst thing. I really think. Because if you're not behaved or you're a little bit lazy, self-employment can be the worst. It's true though, isn't it? Honestly. Self-employment is fantastic, but it's also awful. Time for likes and follows, mates. Appreciated. Andy, remember your own advice. Don't get dragged into politics. I'm not in a taxi now, am I? If I start having an argument over politics, nothing's going to happen, is it? Mate, Labour are like giving a crackhead your wages and asking them to sort out your finances. That's one way of putting it. Do you know what I mean? But have you ever, seen footy and like a team has absolutely been awful, haven't they? So they sack the manager because they've been awful for 15 years. Then a new manager comes in and the team is still the same. The office is still the same. The procedures are still the same. And this new manager's come in to fix this team. And after about 3 months of not fixing it on the original team, you get sacked. That's currently Labour. Labour's been handed an absolute awful, skint, bled dry team. And they've had 6 months or something to try and turn it around. That's the way I look at it. You need to give them more time. At least give them a full term to try and figure it out. Sounds like United, that, Matty. But do you know what I mean, though, Danny? You need Conservatives at 15 years, Labour's at 6 months, and people are like going down on Labour hard. And you're like, you've got to give them a chance. I'm not saying they're good or bad. No politician's good or bad. But you just got to give them more time to try and fix what's happened over the last 15 years. Because the country has been bled dry before Labour. Bled dry. So now that they've got to try and find the money somewhere, haven't they? Sorry, I had to go. I had to get some of the money to pay my insurance. No worries, Lou, no worries. Wolfram always open out. Go on, lad. Get after. Have you ever had some females trying to flirt with you or trying to see your face? This one. This beauty. Hey, see this? All the females. No, very rare. You get a few bit of flirtiness and a little bit of messing about. But no, nothing like, you know what I mean? I'll give you a bit of magic for a free fare. I've had none of that. I think that was like back in the day, that now. Don't think that happens these days. But no, not much. Not much. A little bit of drunk flirtiness probably with the passengers with you. But very like innocent, very funny. Nothing like bad like that. People forget when Labour was lasting, they left a note saying, good luck, there's no money left. Andy, you're from Liverpool, lad. If you're not pro-Labour, lad, you need to move, boy. I'm not sure, says you've got rewards disabled. So, Pete, I think with Twitch, whoever knows Twitch better than I do, is you've got an affiliate program where you can accept rewards and you can accept people like signing up and stuff like that. So you can like support me through Twitch, through rewards and signing up on like Amazon Prime and stuff like that. But I haven't earned it yet. I've got to hit a set of requirements with Twitch before I can turn on the rewards, mate. So I'm pretty sure next week I should be signed up to the rewards on Twitch. Hopefully, anyway. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm quite new to Twitch, mate. My opinion on politics is they're more interested in lining their own pockets, work as a minions to their pension. 100%. Did you ever find out what happened to the fellow who kicked the girl out of Formby Bypass? No, he never come back to the stream. I done a news article on it and everything, didn't I? But he flipping ran away. So you need to understand it's not politician and presidents that run the countries, it's the banking system. So it doesn't matter who gets in, it's all illusions of choice. That's just, yeah, that's going to be a good point, Tony. Salam, Facebook. I have yet to hit the road ever. I have a license and all that. I just wondering if it's worth it with all the negativity with the fares being low. Only you know, Salomon, if it's worth it for yourself. Go out and have a dabble. That's what I say. Just go out and have a dabble, mate. Best you can do. Andrew, they're all as bad as each other. They are, mate. Politicians, they are, mate. I just think what the Conservatives done during COVID, you know what I mean? Telling us to lock down and then going to house parties and getting the missus and the friends to set up businesses. And I think there's still like 36 million missing from COVID. and masks and everything else. And then your Farage fella from Reform brought up the buses, didn't he? We'll leave the EU and we'll save the NHS, and all the money from the EU that we leave will go into the NHS. Farage organises that with the bus and everything else. So then we left the EU and the worst we've ever been, and no money went into the NHS. Do you know what I mean? All that happened in the last 10, 12, 15 years of being a Conservative. Labour comes in for like 4 months, and everyone's like, oh my God, they are the worst. Do you know what I mean? You haven't had a chance. Do you know what I mean? Farage and Reform's coming out saying we're going to stop the boats. You legally couldn't stop the boats even if you wanted to. There's that flipping law. What's it called? Flipping do no harm law or whatever. But listen, guys, it's been emotional. I am starving, as always. Thanks you very much for tuning in. Thank you. Please give us a little like and follow, you know the score. And I'll be back Monday, 10 a.m. Labour or not, this country's going down. It's best to move to Dubai or Saudi. They're growing. Farage and Boris are two of the biggest CUNTs to ever walk the planet. Yeah, but mate, Farage is good on TikTok. So he's getting loads of people. He's saying the right things on TikTok, isn't he? I should go live every day. I can't, mate. I'm chocker, lad. I could go live in the future every day, but I'm just chocker, mate. Like, soon I go live here for 2 hours, and I've got 4 missed calls and 11 WhatsApps and about 4 emails to go through in the 2 hours I've been live on this. Honestly, I had jobs running this morning with the driver let me down last minute, exit to the airport, stuff like that I've got to sort out. So, not just sitting on my arse all day, mate. Busy, busy, busy. But yeah, time for tuning in. Time for all likes and follows. I'll see you Monday, 10 a.m. If the Twitch starts growing and the YouTube and it starts becoming an income, these lives start becoming an income, then I'll start doing bigger, longer lives, you get me? Because it's paying for me time as well. But at the moment, I can do more important stuff, like sort all the content out, sort the airport company out, which obviously pays me wages, you know what I mean? Listen, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. And if I don't see you or hear from you soon, I will see you Monday, 10 a.m. And yeah,